What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here. In this video, we have an exotic with a lot more going on under the hood than it seems. The exotic is the new warlock helmet Cenotaph mask, and the exotic perk is High Priority. Steadily reloads a portion of your equipped trace rifle's magazine from reserves. Damaging a boss with a trace rifle matching your subclass marks it as a priority target. If an ally delivers the final blow to a priority target, heavy ammo spawns for them. So that was quite a mouthful, so let's go through it step by step. First, we have the part about reloading the trace rifle's magazine from reserves. This reload is like a cracked version of Actium War Rig. It reloads 4 rounds into your magazine every 3/4 of a second. It will also reload the magazine when the trace rifle is stowed. So you basically never have to reload your trace rifle. Maybe in very rare instances where you are constantly spamming your trace, but that won't be all that often. And you are probably wondering what I wondered, how does it work with Divinity? Well, very well as it turns out. I threw on 3 arc reserves to give myself 564 shots of div ammo and completely emptied my reserves. I even picked up a special brick for 169 more shots, so I was able to shoot off a total of 733 shots of div without reloading. That is pretty crazy. So if you are in a raid and have a Divinity guy, then this could be the new go-to for that player. They could even place down a Lunafaction Rift for their team and then hot swap to this helmet to be the ultimate support player. The next thing you are probably wondering about is Ager's Scepter and whether or not this works with Will Given Form. Well, I am pleased to announce that it does. Well, kind of. The base mag for this gun is 97 rounds, but in Will Given Form it goes to 197 or double the base mag. So when you are shooting the weapon, it drains down like normal until 96 shots are in the mag, and once it hits that threshold, it starts to auto reload itself. So you could dump this weapon pretty much the whole time that you have super energy, making this a pretty nice exotic to pair with Ager's. Ager's has great ad clear, and then you can mark targets for your teammates to help them get ammo. And that brings us to the next part of the exotic perk. It states damaging a boss with a trace rifle matching your subclass marks it as a priority target. If an ally delivers the final blow to a priority target, heavy ammo spawns for them. So first of all, in all my testing, I found that you don't need to match your subclass to the energy of the exotic. For instance, Solar works with Divinity, which is an arc trace rifle. I'm not sure if this is intended or not. Based on how the perk reads, I will assume it's not. However, how it works now allows you to run a lot of different playstyles, so I'm kind of hoping they keep it as is. If it worked how it is written, then you would have to run an arc subclass with Divinity to mark targets, which wouldn't be all that bad. You could run Arc Souls and give your whole team Arc Souls plus a giant crit bubble and a 15% debuff. However, you don't see a lot of Arc Warlocks in raids these days. And then you would need a Stasis subclass with Ager's, or a Solar subclass with, say, a legendary Solar Trace Rifle like Acacious Dejection. And speaking of Acacious for a second, I have one with Rewind rounds. That perk has amazing synergy with this helmet, because you can land a ton of shots, and if you ever do finally run out of ammo, then Rewind rounds will fill up most of your mag, and the Cenotaph mask will be reloading your mag the entire time. I cleared out a whole lost sector before ever having to reload. And one thing I should mention is, unfortunately, I don't have a trace rifle with reconstruction, so I was unable to test that interaction to see if it loads past the base mag. I'm really not sure how it would work, given that Will Given Form didn't work until it got below the base mag amount. So if you do happen to know whether this works or not and refills past the base mag, just write it down below and I'll pin the comment to help out other viewers. But anyways, back to marking targets. It says bosses, but what that means is yellow bar enemies, so champions are included in that. It does not work on majors or red bars, however. And you also cannot mark 2 targets at a time. You can see in the background gameplay that at the end of Warden of Nothing, 2 yellow bars appear. I mark the Cabal target, but then I am unable to mark the Vex target, and the timer continues being on the Cabal marked target. So just something to note. If there are multiple yellow bars, kill the marked one first and then proceed to the next one. So we know you can mark targets when you are not matching subclasses, but what about the part that talks about spawning heavy ammo for the person delivering the final blow? Well, this part of the perk actually does more than that. It spawns a special ammo brick for the person wearing the helmet as well, which is actually super clutch since you are the one shooting the targets so much with your trace rifle. Then this helps you to get ammo back to keep marking targets. And on top of that, it doesn't just spawn heavy ammo for the teammate who gets the final blow. It also spawns it for the other people in your fire team. So this exotic can be really good for making heavy bricks. My clanmates and I ran the Nightfall this week, and they both noted that they had a ton of heavy on the ground, even without the marked target bricks. It just seemed to be more in general. It could have just been a fluke too, as ammo drops are RNG and random, but it's just something to note. And another thing that you should know about the bricks that do drop is that they glow like a finder brick does, but they look different. Rather than having a purple or green glow to them, they have more of a whitish glow. They also give inconsistent amounts of heavy. I had a friend with a linear fusion rifle on, and one time he got 5 from the drop, and another time he just got 2. And he didn't have ammo scavengers on either time. So just something to be aware of. As a rule though, it seems like these heavy bricks give less than a regular special or heavy brick overall. During the Nightfall, I was running Div, and the exotic worked nicely for keeping everyone's ammo reserves up. The Div guy is always going to shoot a champ for his teammates, so it is very reliable for marking the enemies. But Div does not have great ad clear. I paired it with machine gun to make up for the lack of ad clear, but if you wanted dual purpose, I would suggest running Aggers. You could destroy ads with the trace rifle, and then just quickly shoot a champion to mark it as a priority, and then swap to another weapon to help deal damage to the champion. Speedrunners and highly coordinated teams will be able to make Div work, I am sure, but since the nerf to its debuff, I felt like it just wasn't worth the exotic slot in a Nightfall anymore. However, in raid DPS scenarios, this thing will be great if you want to keep the crit on the boss the entire time. So overall, this exotic is pretty cool and unique, and could potentially find a place on raid teams in the future as a replacement for Aeon exotics, because that is basically what these do. However, you need to rely on a teammate to get the final blow, otherwise it won't work. Where with Aeons, you can be the only person to shoot that enemy, you just have to make sure that you don't kill it outright so you can get a finisher on it. So if you wanted to use it for ammo purposes, it would really be encounter dependent. And speaking of finishers, if your teammate does a finisher on an enemy, this will also work. It doesn't have to be a weapon or ability final blow. You can see my teammate doing a finisher and me getting a special brick, and they both confirmed to me that they got heavy bricks. But yeah, that is pretty much all you need to know about this exotic. If this video was helpful, then a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. Let me know down below what you think of this exotic. I made an exotic review yesterday on the new Titan chest piece, and a lot of people disagreed with me and think it will be good, so I look forward to seeing if it actually turns out to be decent in PvP, but again, I just think there are much better Titan exotics to run. But I do love seeing the discussion either way. Anyways, if you made it this far, then I thank you so much for watching. Good luck on getting this exotic, and take care.